You're watching The Breakfast Club.
I know.
It's the Breakfast Club Change for Change Radiothon. We've been on this box since 6 a.m. We won't leave till midnight.
Yeah, we on Clue's turf right now.
Y'all took over my show, man.
We took
Clue,
Clue's
they tried
track.
to say you was at the mall or something since
Nah,
we was
man.
here.
You know what?
Playing basketball.
I haven't even ate for today yet, man.
Oh, there's
I'm
plenty
being
of food.
serious.
We got food coming. We got Sweet Mouth coming, right?
I think
They're
it's
here now.
Oh, Sweet Mouth here?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I'm grinding out, man. I came down here to support y'all. I normally represent.
Now we have Mysonne in the building.
What's up?
And on the phone, we have Miss Mallory.
Tamika Mallory.
Now where you?
How y'all doing? Why can't I just be Tamika? Why I gotta be Miss
Yeah,
Mallory?
what's all the envy so weird?
You carry yourself with the demeanor of a Miss Mallory,
Now,
and so we
before-
treat you with that respect.
Before we start this,
Thank you.
the reason we have Mysonne is Mysonne. I want you to ask Clue how much he's donating. You know, Khaled donated $51,000.
Dope.
The Breakfast Club donated $15,000. So we,
Y'all richer than all of me, man. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right, Clue. Stop it. You made $1 million in the 90s. Knock it off.
I probably got a couple thousand for y'all. I'm gonna figure out what the number.
Okay, all right.
Oh, and I'm donating. Me and DJ Self bet on the Knicks game the other night. I took the Cavaliers just because I know basketball. I knew who was gonna win. So,
Damn.
so I'm putting this $20 to start, and then I'm gonna add a couple thousand to that.
There
You know what
go
I'm
Clue representing for the King of New
couple
York,
dozen-
LeBron James.
Oh, stop it.
You repping for the King of New York,
saying?
Clue?
I'm repping for my knowledge.
And you got a
Knowledge-
Cavs hat
knowledge
on
is
too,
key.
and you came here with a Cavs hat. Oh man.
Because I had to
Wow.
collect my money from some make it feel bad.
So wait, so Clue, you're a Cavs fan?
I'm a Knicks fan to the heart.
He had a Rock
Cavs
Nation.
hat
Listen,
on.
he had a Rock Nation hat
Giants.
on last week representing for Jay-Z
So wait,
as
you
the
a
King of
Knicks
New York.
fan and you bet against your team for $20?
Yo, no, it wasn't for $20. It was for respect.
For respect.
Oh, my
He
goodness.
never respects my word. And every time he bets against me, he loses.
All right. Well,
LeBron's the
Tamika-
King of New York.
So
Tamika,
you're the reason the Knicks love.
How does it feel to hear all the support that you're getting from everybody, from celebrities to regular people donating $1 to $51,000?
Listen, it's just truly an incredible feeling. First of all, I just want to thank you all so much for being there all day and just being dedicated over time to trying to figure out what you could do to support the work that we do every day, the work we're doing on the ground, really in our communities. And I appreciate all of you. I want to call you all by name. You know, Angela, I saw that you donated today, and I'm extremely grateful to you just being another young sister out here with us. And, you know, obviously, Envy and Charlemagne, you know, your support is something that it can't be replaced. I mean, it's just something that will help us in ways that you cannot even imagine. And there are people who are locked up in prisons right now that have no idea that this support that we're receiving is going to help to bring their names and their issues to the forefront. And so we're just ever so grateful to your support and to 105.1 for allowing you to do it.
And Tamika, you really inspired me. You're the reason why I went to the Women's March when you came up here and you spoke about it. And I was like, oh, man, you know what? I got to make sure I make it down to the Women's March. So I
You
know
did.
You've
You
been
did.
in.
And when I saw you all, Yandy, you, Felicia, all of y'all, my friends, y'all were out there despite the fact that we were having challenges with black women wanting to get involved with the march. You know, you all know I cried because, you know, it's good to know that people are willing to stand by you even in the moments when things seem dark. If we have friends and support and the love of our sisters and brothers, we can do anything.
Yandy donated 5 racks too, by the way.
She sure did. I don't know if she wanted that out there. Did she
Oh,
want that
my
out there?
bad.
Oh,
Damn.
yeah, well, she donated 5
That's our
racks.
sis right there, man. That's our sis.
Thank
Shout
you
out to
so much.
Andy for always supporting.
Why do you think it's important to? I want to ask Tamika and Mike on this. Why is it important to donate to organizations like the Gathering for Justice?
Well, I mean, you know, I'll go first just to say that, you know, here we are right now. Carmen, Linda, and I are on the campus of Princeton University going to speak to young students about being involved in the movement. We cannot ask people who we speak sometimes against to be the ones to support us doing this work. You know, we travel across this country, and to go work for a corporation and then challenge the corporate policies at the same time is very difficult. If our people want us to continue to uplift our voices and to censor the most marginalized communities, we need to have the support, whether it be $1 to $50,000. We need the support so that everyone has skin in the game. You know, my son goes into prison working with Carmen, and he can't do that work every day if he has to also go to a regular job.
Right.
So we need the support so that we can continue to do the work that we're doing.
Absolutely. And my son, I know this is big for you because it's so great hearing so many brothers call in that never donated in their life that says, you know what, I want to do something. People, called today and was like, look, I'm only going to put $10 in my tank today, and I'm going to put the rest of the $20 on this. And it just has to sound amazing to you.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing knowing the hard work that we put in, and most of the time coming out of our own pockets, driving back and forth, whether it's the Raise Your Age bill where we get up in the middle of the night and we drive from New York to D.C. to sit in a room with and convene with the people who are able to make the bills and change the bills and tell them how they have to change bills, or we marching from New York to D.C. on our own dime. And, to see that, to understand that work is being acknowledged and to have y'all support and see people willing to donate, because like Tamika said, this work can't get done without us being able to feed our families. It's nights that we not home with our families. It's days that we take away from the jobs and, whatever hustles that we have to survive, to do the work to fight for our freedoms and injustices. So when somebody's able to donate, that means a couple more nights that we can take away from having to focus on how we're going to feed our families. So this is a beautiful thing, man. These women are phenomenal, man. I follow them. We started at Justice League, me, Linda, Carmen, and Tamika. We started with Justice League, and then watching it manifest and watching them be on the forefront of the Women's March and continuing to be great and just inspiring me and motivating me to do whatever I have to do, coming from, brothers from, it's beautiful because understanding that all of us can be involved in this movement. Like I heard Carmen and Linda talking earlier, and they were talking about how brothers from prison, we don't just say, oh, you can't be involved. And a lot of brothers want to be involved.
Right.
They don't know how to be involved. So if you're not able to be out there on the front lines with me, and you can't march with me, and you can't, put your life on the line, and I don't expect everyone to, but just be able to donate to the movement, because that in itself is just as much help as being there if you can.
What you guys do is beyond a full-time job.
Word.
Absolutely.
It is, man. And you see you reap the fruits of your labor when you see them make the Raise Your Age bills, and when you see broken windows and things being, overturned, and you watch and you're able to see people get an indictment on the man who killed Deborah Danner, like things like that. When you sit in front of a precinct for 40 days by yourself, advocating for that, and then you see it happen, is a beautiful thing. So it's a beautiful thing that y'all out here supporting. And once again, we can't thank y'all enough, man. It's like Tamika had tears in her eyes when we was just in DC just now listening. Like, damn, they really supporting us, and people are giving to the movement, because we don't do it for nothing. Right. We've been doing it before somebody thought it was cool. Before being, conscious was the end thing. This is what we were doing. This is our lives. So to see people really donating and seeing and really willing to support is a beautiful thing.
Hey, Tamika, we got Diddy. We got Diddy calling in at 8, and we know Diddy really loves you right now. So make sure you just give him a little nudge.
Tell him that
give him a little nudge.
51,000. So we need 50, at least 52.
I'm not telling you what number. I don't know what number he want to donate. I'm just telling you, give him a little nudge.
Give him that thank you beforehand in advance.
Listen, don't box him into any low numbers. We don't know what he might do.
You're right.
Let him feel free. Let Brother Love up on us.
There you go.
He might bust a 250 on y'all or something.
You never know.
Right.
You never know.
Brother Love.
Hey,
Brother Love.
Well, Tamika, you go out there and continue to fight the good fight. Thank you for calling.
We appreciate you. Mysonne, you too. We appreciate you.
No,
as well.
Mike's going to sit. Mike's got something he want to spit.
I got this.
I just don't want to keep Tamika on the phone.
I just want to say real quick, Charlamagne, thank you, brother. I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to get done, and we see you, we feel you, and we lift you up. We got your back.
Thank you, love. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sis.
All right, Tamika.
This is something that I did. It's called How We Gonna Win. Me and Charlamagne was having a conversation, and I realized that as much as support we have, it's so much people that could do so much more. And I be saying to myself, like, really, like, how we gonna win? Like, what do we need to do? How we gonna win if everybody is not committed to one goal? If everybody don't really realize it's a problem, how we gonna win?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a spoken word thing that I wrote on the way here. I mean, I wrote before, but I figured it out, and I wanted to say it today. It's called How We Gonna Win. How we gonna win when the oppressor creates the narrative? When the villains doing all the killings in the movies are the ones who create the characters? How we gonna win? How we gonna win when we've been taught to hate us? I know. How we gonna win when we've been taught since birth that not the content and character, but a man's possessions determine his worth? An average black won't attain monetary value because the structure you were born into was never meant to allow you. So how we gonna win? How we gonna win when we focus on survival and we live by religion but forgot that the devil mastered the Bible? So how we gonna win? How we gonna win when we've been taught to hate us and the ones who killed and raped them are the ones they say trust? We won't meet with Farrakhan because we disagree with his views. But y'all talk to Donald Trump just to get on the news. So how we gonna win? How we gonna win when we numb to the killing? And instead of protecting and nurturing, we run from our children. How we gonna win when the movement's divided and we can't come together and the leaders colliding? Can't see eye to eye and they ain't even trying. We moving on pride and our people is dying. So how we gonna win? How we gonna win when most don't even know that they losing? When they can't see the American dream is nothing more than an illusion? When confusion and chaos become the norm, how the hell you tell a difference between right and wrong? How you tell a wealthy man that his money means nothing when 99% of his people is still suffering? How we gonna win when the ones fighting the war can't even afford to eat and they sleeping on floors? Y'all won't feed the ones that's fighting for freedom, but our enemy is full, so how we gonna beat them? How we gonna win when we don't realize that the devil's greatest trick was convincing the world that he didn't exist? How we gonna win?
There you have it, man.
My son, my son. My son.
Man,
Love Jones Part 2, goddamn.
Shut
We're going to get
up,
my
shut up,
son
man.
in there.
How we
Shut
gonna
up.
win? How we gonna win?
Wow.
And
My
it's real.
son, we appreciate you for
I
joining us
appreciate
as
y'all for
always,
having
man.
me. Thank you,
Thank you
King.
for coming through.
Text change to
Text
52182
change,
right
man.
now.
Anything you have, anybody, if you know, we know everybody can't be on these front lines. Everybody can't take off from work and march and protest and advocate. So if you're able to have $1, $2, anything you have, we appreciate you, man, and we still gonna fight for you.
All right.
Yes,
Or
sir.
bcchange4change.com. Hit up the website. It's the Breakfast Club Change for Change.